Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're just going to jump right into this week's meal prep. My goal was to do it in less than an hour and I succeeded. It took me just about 40 minutes to get all of this done. So I'm going to start off by making some garlic sriracha chicken I will be having as salads for my lunches this week. I'm just going to put the marinade together so my chicken can marinate while I'm doing the rest of the prep. So in my gallon size Ziploc bag, I am adding 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, 2.5 tablespoons of coconut aminos, 3 teaspoons of sriracha, 1 teaspoon of stevia, 1 tablespoon of honey, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. And then I'm going to go ahead and weigh out 16 ounces of chicken so I can have that split up between some salads this week. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that aside until it is a time to cook it up. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and poach some chicken for a cold chicken pasta salad I'm going to be making. So I am just taking some chicken broth and I'm going to put some chicken in there and then I'll bring it to a boil and then I just let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes or so until the chicken is cooked through. And then now I'm going to work on the pasta for the cold chicken salad. I want to make sure all the stuff is nice and cold when I put it together. So I am putting in 6 ounces of this mini farfalle, I don't know how, farfalle pasta, the bow tie pasta. So it's 6 ounces of that into some water. I'm going to bring that to a boil and let it cook it up. So while those two things are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and put together some bagel sandwiches I'm going to have for breakfast this week. So I have some of the Thomas bagel thins, and then to that I'm going to add on 28 grams of fat-free cream cheese. So I am just putting the whole block of cream cheese on my food scale and then just using the negative feature. So I'm just weighing out 28 grams. And then I'm going to go ahead and spread that all over my bagel thin. And then to that I'm going to weigh out 2 ounces of this oven roasted turkey breast, which is going to be put on top of the cream cheese. And then on top of that, I'm going to add on some ultra thin sliced provolone cheese. So just 1 slice of that, top it off, and then I'm just going to put them into a Ziploc bag and I will heat these up before I have them. I used to have this when I was a kid. The high school I went to had this type of sandwich for breakfast or for snack, and I absolutely loved it. So I thought this would be just a kind of nice little nostalgic breakfast. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these together. I had quite a few carrots left over from the last week, and so I'm going to go ahead and have those with some of my favorite Knorr vegetable dip. So I am taking 1 cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, weighing that out, and then I'm adding in 14 grams of the Knorr vegetable dip. Sometimes I do 28 grams, but this time I'm just going to do 14 grams just to add in just a little bit of flavor. I like the taste of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, so for me, it's not a big deal. And then I'm just going to take that whole amount there that it comes to, and I'm going to divide that by 4. So each of my little containers here has 65 grams of the dip in it. And then I'm just going to separate out all my carrots and then just throw one of those dips into the Ziploc bags, and this will be a nice, easy grab and go snack. I want to bring some tea with me to work this week, and so I'm going to make a gallon of some green tea that I'm flavoring with some sugar-free raspberry syrup. So to make the green tea, I am taking 16 bags of this green tea, and I'm going to boil 32 ounces of water. And once that comes to a boil, I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in with the tea bags, and I'm going to let it sit for about 10 minutes or so until it has been brewing and the concentrate is nice and dark. So now the tea is ready for me to mix together. So I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze these tea bags, and then I'm going to add to that 1/2 cup of this sugar-free raspberry syrup from Torani. And then I'm just going to pour this whole mixture into the gallon jug with the rest of the plain water. And then I'm going to take this to work and have something to drink all week, which actually I'll probably drink it within a few days because I really love this mixture of green tea and sugar-free raspberry. Also, sugar-free strawberry is really good as well. Okay, so now that my pasta has been cooked and it has been cooling and my chicken is all ready to go, as you can see, I just shredded up the chicken breasts. I am going to go ahead and put together my cold chicken pasta salad. This will be one of my lunches this week. So I have the pasta in a bowl. I'm just going to add in that chicken. Along with that, I'm adding in about 5 ounces or so of spinach. I'm just going to kind of tear apart. I rather tear it. It seems to last longer rather than cutting it up. It tends to go bad a little bit. And so then I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of this light Olive Garden dressing. And then I'm going to top that off with some red pepper flakes. I'm just going to give that a good stir. And then I get a lot of questions about how I measure out this type of thing. So I'm going to show you here that I'm taking a big bowl. I'm going to weigh out the entire batch of this pasta salad. I know I want it to be 4 servings, so I'm just going to divide that number by 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and weigh out each individual serving. And I do this in grams because it seems to be the easiest way to weigh out big batches like this. So this is how I always weigh out my food. So when people ask me how many servings what the size of the servings, it's really hard for me to tell you because I mean, it's a possibility that your grams may be different than my grams on this. This particular one was 236 grams per serving, and this was 4 servings. Another tea I want to make this week is the Copycat Starbucks Passion Lemonade Tea. I think that's what it's called. I used to get this all the time, and then I realized I could make it myself and be a lot cheaper. So I'm going to take 4 bags of this passion tea. I do prefer to get the larger bags, but I could not find those in my store this week, so I just got the regular cup size bags. So I'm going to use 4 of these, and then I'm going to put them into a container with 32 ounces of boiling water. And then I'm going to go ahead and let that sit. Like this one I like to sit for like 15-20 minutes. That way it gets nice and concentrated. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and set it aside until I'm ready to do it. So while my tea is soaking, I'm going to go ahead and make my hard-boiled eggs. So I always do this in my pressure cooker. I am doing 6 eggs. I just added in about a cup of water into my pressure cooker, and then I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to do them on the steam setting for 5 minutes. Then I let it do a natural release for 5 minutes, and then I put them into an ice bath for 5 minutes. And then I go ahead and either peel them or leave the peels on. If you leave the peels on, they do last longer in the refrigerator. So that's what I'm going to do this week because I'm not sure how many eggs I will be eating this week. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the peels on. So now it is time to finish up the Sriracha chicken. So it's been marinating this entire time, so I'm going to go ahead and put it into my air fryer. I'm going to cook it at 380 degrees for 15 minutes. I will turn it halfway through, and here is the finished product. It smells amazing. There was so much garlic on it that I absolutely love that. So I will be putting these on salads. I'm going to have this 2 times this week, and I will just have a salad, and I probably top it off with some ranch or possibly some of the sesame, what do they call that? The sesame ginger dressing from Newman's Own. I have some of that as well. So now we're going to go ahead and finish up the Copycat Starbucks Passion Lemonade Tea. So I'm going to take this concentrate. I'm going to go ahead and carefully pour it into my 2-quart container. And once I get all that in there, I'm going to add in 1 of these packages of the pitcher size lemonade from Crystal Light. I just take that entire package and pour it into the container. And then I'm just going to top that off the rest of the way with some water. Oh, I also am adding in 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. It just really adds just a little bit more flavor to it. It's really super good. And then I'll just give that a good kind of shake, and this is amazing, you guys. It tastes so much like the Starbucks version, so definitely try this, and you guys will not regret it. I have this all summer long. If you guys remember, I have it all the time. So there you go, guys. There's everything that I prepped in about 40-45 minutes. So it was a really quick meal prep for me today, but I have 2 really yummy lunches that I cannot wait to eat. Be sure you check out the description box. I will have all the recipes. I will also have the points in Smart Points and in Points Plus, since I am following Points Plus right now. Also, here on the screen, you are going to see a playlist of over 120 meal preps that I do have on my channel. So be sure to check that out. If you're not subscribed, please take the time to do so if you want to see more meal preps. I will also see you in a few days for a full day of eating. Bye, guys.